What's up guys, I'm BTC. Another PTR update is coming, and with it are some absolutely massive nerfs to both Doomfist and Brigitte. The new PTR patch is expected to arrive on Monday, and with no exaggeration, this is going to have a massive impact on the game. I'm going to give you a completely impartial, neutral review of these changes, the good, the bad, and what the ramifications of it's going to be, and where the game is going to end up going, most likely because of it. Over on the official forums, Jeff Goodman made a post with these changes. We'll start with Brigitte. Shield Bash, damage reduced from 50 to 5. Inspire passive, cooldown reduced from 1.5 to 1. Duration increased from 5 to 6 seconds. Total healing increased from 80 to 100. Developer notes, reduces Shield Bash damage, reduces her total stun combo damage potential, while still allowing Whip Shot and her basic melee attacks to retain their full strength. Brigitte is a hybrid tank healer, and lately we've been reducing her effectiveness by reducing the power of her non-healing functionality. But we want to make sure she is still a viable pick, so we're increasing the uptime of her Inspire passive to help increase her overall healing output. To put it bluntly, these changes are devastating to Brigitte and to the game in general. Brigitte was added as an anti-dive character, and now that she can no longer bash through Winston's bubble, and now that her combo is essentially gone, all of her anti-dive stuff is now gone as well, which means all of the pressure that she could put into the backline against the Tracers, the Winstons, the Genjis, and the Divas, all that is gone now. So whatever anti-dive capabilities she had, it's just not there. The Shield Bash damage reduction, bringing it down to 5, puts it on par with the same damage you would get from an Ana Sleep Dart. For reference, McCree's Flashbang does 25 damage. So I think if they were going to reduce the damage on that, bringing it down to 25 makes a little bit more sense than dropping it all the way down to 5. As for the healing buff, it's almost completely worthless. This is what I would refer to as an empty buff. It looks good on paper, but in practice, it's nearly worthless. So the cooldown being reduced from 1.5 seconds to 1 second doesn't really change anything, because you're going to be hitting the enemy quite often, which means you're going to be refreshing the Inspire passive as often as you can anyways. The duration getting increased from 5 to 6 seconds, likewise, this has no impact because you're going to be refreshing it before it expires anyways. So the only time this is ever really going to take into effect is if for some reason you can't get near the enemy and you can't hit them. So you'll get a little tiny extra bit of healing. And then the last part, the total healing increased from 80 to 100. Just looking at that like, wow, that's a lot, that's an extra 20 healing. But again, it looks better on paper, but in practice, it's not so good because that extra 20 healing comes from the extra 1 second at the end of the duration. So if you're constantly refreshing it, then the cooldown doesn't matter, the duration doesn't matter, and the total healing also doesn't matter because you're refreshing it before it ever expires. So this is not going to change her healing output except for the ever tiniest, smallest margin. Whenever you're not able to actually hit an enemy, you're going to get that one extra tick at the back end of the Inspire passive. So it's an empty buff. It doesn't in any way increase her healing output by anything significant. Moving on to Doomfist, he also got some pretty significant nerfs. Seismic Slam, victims no longer lose air control while being pulled in. Meteor Strike, the inner ring damage radius increased from 1.5 to 2 meters. This is the ring where Meteor Strike deals its full 300 damage. The max damage outside the inner ring decreased from 300 to 200. This is the ring where damage fall-off happens, which still reduces the damage down to 15 at max range. Developer notes, the PTR Doomfist changes are all about trying to give his enemies more opportunities to effectively fight back, and these changes are no exception. The Meteor Strike changes will make it harder to secure a free kill on heroes without mobility such as Zenyatta or Ana, while still preserving its max potential damage when aimed well or when combined with other abilities such as Graviton Surge or Sleep Dart. Overall, we're looking carefully at the amount of crowd control abilities such as stuns and knockbacks that remove air control, and seeing if we can remove or reduce some of the effectiveness of some of these. Any further changes on this PTR will be posted in this thread as well. Like the change with the rising uppercut air control, I think it's a good idea to give the opponent a better opportunity to respond when Doomfist tries to initiate his attack. However, the problem with this is the only reason why Doomfist could get kills to begin with was because he removed the air control of your opponent. If you can't do that, then Doomfist can't get kills. So they're taking away the thing that allowed him to get any kills and be effective, and they're not giving him anything to compensate for it. So there would need to be lower cooldowns, or maybe more movement, or whatever it happens to be, but his ability to get kills and to do these combos has been completely, not completely, but very largely impacted, and it's going to make him significantly less effective. In fact, I would think that after all of these changes go through, Doomfist is going to be essentially just a troll or a throw pick. He's not going to be effective. For the ultimate, I do think that was a good change because some characters like Ana and Zenyatta, it was nearly impossible to escape from it. Zen could use his ultimate, but it would largely be a waste. So that's a good change. But again, the problem is they're continuing to reduce the effectiveness of Doomfist's abilities. And the thing is, Doomfist is a full ability type hero. He relies on those abilities in order to secure kills. And if they keep nerfing it and making them less and less effective, then he's just not going to be able to do anything. And he's just going to end up being a throw pick. So what are the ramifications of these changes? For Doomfist, he's just not going to get played anymore. It's that simple. For Brigitte, it doesn't destroy the triple tank, triple support. It does make it weaker, but it's still there. But the problem is, why would you need to run it? If all of the anti-dive aspects are gone, then why not just go back to dive? And I think that's probably what's going to happen. We already saw dive starting to creep back because, yes, we had the triple tank, triple support with Reinhardt, but we also saw lots of triple tank with Winston and other dive combos like Winston and Hammond or Diva and Hammond, whatever it happens to be. So dive was kind of already coming back, and now with the main anti-dive character getting nerfed into the ground, why not just bring back dive? And I think that's probably what's going to end up happening. So what do you guys think about these changes? Let me know down below. Thanks for watching, and if you'd like to see more, subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss anything. Also, come hang out in my Discord server and my Twitch live stream. Special thanks to my Patreon supporters. If you'd like to see what kind of cool VIP rewards you can get, check the links down below. And remember, always blame the controller because it's never your fault.